I think this probably should be seen as a way to potentially shore up Intel's balance sheet. I mean, it's a company that's been struggling, it's losing money, it's really got an ambition to return semiconductor manufacturing en masse to the United States in a way that we've not seen in years. It's all centered around the Ohio plant. The Ohio plant has been seen as a way for Intel to become a shining light across the world. They said by 2030 it was going to be one of the biggest and the best in the world. Obviously, that hasn't been the case. It's been delayed quite a few times. So this investment, this proposed investment, should probably be viewed as a confidence capital type of arrangement for Intel. Give some confidence to investors that this is something they should stand behind because it has the backing of the most creditworthy institution in the world.
We don't do this very often, we being the U.S. government. This is a monstrous change in industrial policy. What are folks saying out there about this?
It is. I think, certainly among the people I've been speaking to, this is something that, it's a new dawn in a way. I mean, if you're a banker or a lawyer or anyone on Wall Street thinking about struggling U.S. companies in quote-unquote mission-critical industries or industries that are sensitive to the United States, is the government now an option for you? I mean, we think back to the financial crisis with Chrysler and GM and so on. I mean, that's years ago. I mean, the tide has turned since then, clearly. But it does seem as though, just given some of these other transactions we've seen, like MP Materials, like the almost pay-for-play in a way NVIDIA agreement with AMD as well, the 15% that Trump struck to allow China to have these chips, it does seem like a new time, a new dawn for how to think about the Trump administration's play with private industry.
So who's going to pay for this stake? I mean, we're hearing the Trump administration eyeing the CHIPS Act. Is that right?
Yeah, so far, I mean, we just ran a story this morning. Our understanding is that at least for now, the funding could come from the CHIPS Act. I mean, bearing in mind the CHIPS Act was passed in 2022, committing $280 billion in new funding for domestic research and manufacturing of semis in the United States. Intel was already poised to be the biggest beneficiary of the CHIPS Act. I mean, I think they were awarded $7.9 billion in grants for a commercial semi-manufacturing program. And they also struck an agreement with the Pentagon under their Secure Enclave program that was worth around $3 billion. So Intel's already seen quite a bit of this money. It remains to be seen exactly how much or what size stake the government will take.
Does Intel, do they welcome a stake by the U.S. government? Have they said anything?
They haven't said anything. I think one of the things that was kind of telling yesterday when we went to them for comment, they declined to comment on what they called rumors and speculation, but they did add that they were deeply committed to supporting the administration's efforts to strengthen U.S. technology and manufacturing leadership. I mean, make no mistake, Intel sees itself that it should be the leader in semiconductor manufacturing. It has always been in the shadow of TSMC as it relates to semiconductor fabs. I think they do feel as though this could be a potentially very good time for them to change course and return to the top of the channel.
So do you see this as just another intervention by President Trump? We had the 15% cut of certain semiconductor sales to China. You had this golden share in United States steel. I mean, can you dive more into that?
Yeah, I think, this is certainly, I just really want to draw a line under how unprecedented this is. I mean, this is a wacky suggestion, what we have here. Lip-Bu Tan, by the way, who, there are very few people who are as qualified as him in semiconductors. I mean, he sat on the board of Intel before he became the CEO. He left the board, then they ran a process, and now he's back as CEO. I mean, he was already making the point when he was on the board that Intel needs to sort out its manufacturing problem. The fact that the Trump administration is now coming in and suggesting that they could be behind essentially as a backstop in a way for what the company is looking to do there is turning conventional wisdom on its head for sure. I think to draw the attention again to the MP Materials deal, that was really interesting because it's about, loans, it's about outside financing. They mentioned in as part of that deal, it could take the form of partnerships with other customers. I think it's really being seen as a blueprint for what the Trump administration is thinking about Intel here.